In this video, we're going to create the advanced drill down bar chart in Chartjs, and this is part 8. So what we're going to focus on now, so far we have everything working here, we have this, we even have this click effect and hover effect working, but of course we need to now build the function that will reset the chart back to its original state. So let's start and do this. We scroll down here, we have to go here to the let's see, what's the function name? I already gave it a name here now. I think it's update chart or update chart. I guess it should not be update chart. Sorry, that's really a bad term. We should say reset chart. That's probably the better and more descriptive term. So I'm going to say here, and then I'm going to see where is the matching function here. Should be reset. All right, because we're going to reset the chart and not update it. We want to go back to its original state. So to do this, what we need to do is we need to break down again what we did previously. We had here the access keys, and what we want to do now is basically go here in the access keys. Let's go up here. Always have a whole chunk of code here. Where is the configuration? All right, that's here. This one, go back to this original state here. This is the starting point. So I'm going to copy this for the sake of it. But if you wonder, how did I get this? Remember I talked about data structures? It's basically in here. Data structures, and then here what is the default? It's the market share and the browser, and probably can do also the colors as well. That's alright. Anyway, let's start with this right now. So I'm going down here, where's the reset chart? And in the reset chart, the first thing what I want to do here is I will just say here my chart.config dot, and here options dot parsing, remember data structures, dot x-axis key, and this x-axis key will be equal to what exactly? Well, back to its original state, the browser. Then what we want to do is the following. We will say exactly the same, my chart.config dot options dot parsing for the y-axis key equals, and then here this would be the users. All right, so just a quick note here, data structures, and in this what we're doing here works for the bar chart, line chart, and all these kind of chart types, except for donut and pie chart. Donut and pie chart, separate video. I have a separate video. Use that one, please, because it has a different way of working, a different logic. So make sure you watch that one if you want to apply data structures on a pie chart. That's the video you need to check. All right. So what we're going to do now is basically the same what we did previously. I'm going to create here a new constant, and this constant I'll just say here browser color, or B color. And remember we had here last time the V color, which for version. So I guess we can use then the B color would be not. We're not talking anymore about version because it was the version data. Now we have just the browser data, just browser, Chrome, Safari, and the other one. What is the other one? The Firefox. So that's it. So here, same methodology here. Luckily, this is not that hard anymore once we did all the heavy lifting. So we can say here B users is also same, and it's bracket. And then next, finally, we say here constant. Then we say here B labels. All right, so this is again, what is this constant going to do? It's just going to grab here our, well, this one is basically our BG colors. This one will of course be the, well, maybe not the user data. I guess here we could say maybe market share. Market share, that would be the right one. That's the market share, and then the labels here, B labels, will be basically the labels, the browser labels. Mozilla, Firefox, etc. etc. Alright. So here this should be then not anywhere this, but this should be market share. Let's see what's the official term. You can see here market share. Alright, we copy that, just put it in there. This is, oh no, not on this, sorry. Watch out, not on change chart. It's on reset chart. Like this. Alright? So don't make that mistake what I did. Let's comment this out. Alright, so here, what we're going to do here is the following. We're going to say here the browser data. Remember, we are going back in the constant, which is called the browser data. And then we say here dot map. Map is one of the, I guess, one of the powerful tools that we can use. And in this case here, we want to say here, the browser data, we just call this as browser. That's the shorthand. And then within here, what we're going to do here is basically the following. We'll say here the B color will be dot, and then we want to push that. What are we going to push here? Well, let's check. How do we get the color? If you scroll up back to the data structure, you can see here the browser data. So this is here, we're in the browser, and then we say get color. Then we also have a get the browser here, that will be the label, then here market share. So very, very straightforward. This will be an easy one. The only thing is that we're scrolling up and down all the time. Sorry about that. Just to make a point here. Anyway, we say here browser dot color, and once we have this, we have the other one, which would be the B market share equals, and then here, oh no, not equals, sorry, push. Remember, push is pushing, inserting something in an array, and we look through this, so we were pushing it every time in the array. Browser dot market share, and then finally we have the other one, which will be our return, because it just will be the label, because we only have 3 labels here, remember. So that's be browser, we want to return browser.browser. And the reason why browser.browser, because the label itself, or the browser, had the term browser, or basically that's the namespace of it. It's here, or basically this is the object, or this is the object here, and this is the object value, so the value would be browser. So in this case, we call this browser and browser. So don't get confused, that's it. Alright, that's regarding to the, because of the map functionality here of the array. So now we have this one here. What are we going to do here? Semicolon, enter. And now I just want to do here semicolon as well. And then here we're going to say here my charts.config.data sets. And this is data set 0 because we only have one data set in here. And then we say here background color will be equal to B color. Going to grab this. And then we have another one for the border color will be as well equal as well with the color. So we say here background will be border color. Then once we have this next item, what we need to focus on is the label. And what is the label? Well, the label, we don't have any item in here, or we can do it later on. But it's just basically a hard-coded item. That's the easiest one. We'll just do it later on. So what we can do here then is my charts.config.data, and then we say here what we want here is the labels. Alright, there's a difference between label and labels. Maybe we just put them both here. I'll explain afterwards. So labels is the plural, which of course makes sense. As B labels, that's this one. That's basically this here. So if you go here, let me check in the data setup here. This is the constant. We have the labels and we have the label. Alright, so this is the label. We're just going to grab this as well. We're going to just make that immediately. But the labels is not inserted into the data sets. Why? Because it's not a data set. It is basically a chart title. So that's why we have this. Oh, sorry, this is not even chart title. So this is the x-axis of the chart. Right? That's the x-axis here. So scroll down here. Let's continue on, and then I'll just say here my chart.config.data sets. Remember for the labels. 0.label equals what exactly? Well, it's a string value. Remember that, semicolon. Final one here. What is the one? Is the users. So the users, or not even the users, it's the market share. So we can just say here basically dot data. You can just copy this. Dot data here equals what exactly? It is the market share here, semicolon. Once we did this, we can say here my chart.update. Alright, save this, refresh, and now let's see if we have everything. Alright, if I hover over here, no issues. Alright, oh, you can see we still need to solve that. I'm going to show you later on how we're going to solve that final item. If we click on this, there we are. Go back here, we have 5 items, and if I try to click here, of course this doesn't work, but if I click on this, there you are. So this works nicely. Oh, this is so beautiful. Anyway, final item here. We want to hide this, because why would you click on back if you have already here on the reset? So how do we do this? Let's look at the button display here. And where do we have to check? I just have to check where is the button being displayed. It's not on the change browser, it's on the reset button here. I think it's not on the mouseover. No. Before draw is that, this is the button. Alright, this is the item. So in here, what we're going to do is this. We're going to say if this label equals market share.browser, in that case, hide it. Else, show it. Or basically what I will say, the label must be anything but this. So it can be anything except this one here. So let's do the if statement now. We say if. And then, alright, so let me just check here because we might need to have a slightly different code. So what we can say here, well, I guess we can just do it like that. Let's check if this works. My chart .config .data set 0. Let's see if this works. If not, we need to dig into this specific item. We have to put that there instead, because we might get an error. Says sorry, we cannot recognize this because this plugin is loaded before this has been loaded. So that's why that might be an issue. Anyway, let's test this before I jump to conclusions. Label, alright, if this is not equal to, and what is the text here? Market share of browsers. Alright, put it in there. Put this in there, and then here between, I'm just going to cut this out, just put it down at this very moment here. So there's no need to restore anything if it didn't load anything here. So we have this semicolon here, save this, and I see here, just put a semicolon here, save that one, refresh. There you are. Now it's hidden. If I click on it, there you are. And then go back. There you are. And click. And then if you hover over it, oh, what happened here? As you can see, we're still having the hover effect here. So let's remove the hover effect as well. Same methodology, same if statement. Copy, and let's search for the hover effect. So we have here target, that's the pointer. Alright, this one is not. Remember, this is for the bar elements. Scroll down here. I think, what was the term for that? Not the click handle, the reset handle, no, the mouse handle here. Alright, so in here, very simple. Basically, we don't even need to load anything. If, or we can do it, we can just leave that loading up there. Just do it here if. We'll say if this is like that, in that case, like that. Alright, then I will do an indentation here, or indentation, sorry. Save, refresh, hover, nothing. And then here, there you are. So now we have everything here beautifully done. And you can see here, I cannot click on that, but we can go back. And there you are, we can go back and we can click on this, you can go back. And you can imagine, of course, we could even do here like next, if we have more values here, like a next button and a previous button to switch through different items as well. Oh, there's so much we can do with this. This is absolutely phenomenal. Alright, so that's basically how we do this, and I will continue on with this series with some other items as well in here, because it's really fun once you have a very advanced chart. Before I close, I realized I forgot one thing here that I want to talk about, which is this part here. So what we need to do here as well, and this is the only item, it's just one line here, is because imagine if you would scale your chart smaller or bigger, or you have a mobile responsive one, or someone reduces the size of the chart, well, when it loaded already, we need to make sure that all the coordinates we have are being reloaded as well. So to do this, this is the final trick here. I forgot about this. We have to just say here my chart.resize. Doing this will resize and will change the clickable areas into the right size, so it will never switch again. Or at least it will keep on switching to wherever it is, and not that it's somewhere where it should not be, because it's holding the variables previously. Very important. Make sure you do this as well. My chart resize on both of these functions here.